guys, in this video we are just going to check back in, review, refresh on solving and writing equations. Okay, so x minus 3.2 equals 14.5. I first going to draw a line through the equal sign to keep it organized. Okay, and my goal is to get x by itself. Okay, so right now I have x minus 3.2. I need to get rid of this 3.2 by doing the opposite. So the opposite of subtracting is adding, so I'm going to add 3.2. What I do on the left side, I have to do on the right side. Okay. So negative 3.2 plus 3.2 is 0. These go away, and you're left with x. We have 14.5 plus 3.2 is 17.7. Okay, and I can check my work by taking what I think x equals, plugging it in for x, so minus 3.2 equals 14.5. That works. Okay, number 2. Even with fractions. Okay, my goal is to get m by itself this time. I'm going to draw a line through the equal sign. So I'm adding 1/2. I want to get rid of that by doing the opposite, which is subtracting 1/2. So 1/2 minus 1/2 is 0. You're left with m. Okay. Remember that when we subtract or add fractions, they have to have a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply this by 2 so that they both have a denominator of 4. 3/4 minus 2/4 is 1/4. Okay. So 5k equals negative 1.5. My goal is to get k by itself, but right now I have 5k, and I only want 1k. Remember that 5k means 5 times k. So to undo multiplication, we're going to divide by 5. What I do on the left, I have to do on the right. Okay, so 5k divided by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So this gives me 1k. 1.5 divided by 5 is 0.3. Okay, so to check it, instead of k, I'm going to put in 0.3. And I got 1.5. Oh, but my answer was a negative 1.5. So that's not quite right, so I'm going to go back and check. And we're going to make sure that I type in a negative 1.5. Oh, it should have been negative 0.3. So let me go in and put in my negative 0.3. See, the check step is important. Okay. All right, b divided by negative 4 equals negative 2.5. So to undo this divided by negative 4, I'm going to multiply by negative 4. Okay, so this becomes negative 4b divided by negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1, so we get 1b equals 10. Okay, I'm just going to fold this in half. Make it a little easier to deal with. Okay, so 3y minus 9 equals 18. My goal is to get y by itself. I'm going to undo whatever is least attached to it, which in this case is this 9. So I'm going to do the opposite of minus 9. I'm going to add 9. What I do on the left, I have to do on the right. Okay, so negative 9 plus 9 is 0. These cancel each other out, and you're left with a 3y. (18 plus 9 is 27. So now I have 3 times y equals 27. I want to undo this multiplication. I undo multiplication by doing the opposite and dividing. So divide by 3 on both sides. 3y divided by 3 is a 1y. 27 divided by 3 is 9. Okay. Number 6. 2 plus n over 7 equals 8. Okay, I'm going to get rid of whatever is least attached to the variable. This 7 is kind of touching that n, so I'm not going to get rid of that first. But this 2 is separated from it by an addition symbol, so I'm going to get rid of the 2 first by subtracting 2. What I do on the left, I have to do on the right. 2 minus 2 is 0, so these cancel each other out. We're left with n over 7 on the left equals 8 minus 2 is 6. Okay, so now I have n divided by 7, but I want n by itself. So to undo division, I'm going to multiply by 7 on both sides. Because what I do on this side with a variable, I have to do on the other side to keep it equal and balanced. Okay. If I make 7 into a fraction by putting it over 1, I'm just showing you what's happening here. Okay. 7 times n is 7n over 1 times 7 is 7. Okay. 7n divided by 7 is 1n. 6 times 7 is 42. Okay. So, right here, here's a fraction. I'm going to teach you how to get rid of that. First, I draw a line through the equal sign just to keep it organized. Okay. This 2/3 is the coefficient of x. So I can't get rid of that first. So I'm going to get rid of this minus 11 first by adding 11. Okay. So I'm left with 2/3 x equals here we have negative 1/3 plus 11 over 1. To add fractions, I need a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply this one by 3. So it becomes negative 1/3 plus 33/3. Now I can add their numerators. Negative 1 plus 33 is 32. So we get 32/3 on the right side. Okay. So if you have a fraction coefficient, to get rid of it, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is when I flip the fraction, so times 3 over 2. But I multiply on this side, I have to multiply on this side. Just square this off, okay? What happens is 3 times 2 is 6, over 2 times 3 is 6, okay? 32 times 3 is 96, over 3 times 2 is 6. So now I'm going to reduce those. So 6 divided by 6 is 1, so we get 1x equals 96 divided by 6 is 16. So when you multiply by the reciprocal, this is what happens. That's why you do that. It makes it into a 1. All right, on the back half, we got word problems. Everybody's favorite. Okay, I lost my pen. There it is. So a notebook costs 89 cents and a pack of pens is $4.29. You buy 1 pack of pens and some notebooks. If your total is $10.52, how many notebooks did you buy? Okay, I'm going to start by circling important numbers. So we need to know 89 cents. We need to know $4.29. You buy 1 pack of pens. You buy some notebooks. Your total is $10.52. And we're looking for how many notebooks did you buy? So the thing we don't know, our variable, is the number of notebooks. So I'm just going to write down that my variable is n for number of notebooks. Okay? So to get our total, we're going to have to take the cost of notebooks plus the cost of pens is going to be our total spent, right? So the cost of my notebooks is 89 cents per notebook. So to find the total cost of notebooks, I'm going to take that 89 cents times the number of notebooks, n. Okay, so 89.89 times n will give me how much I'm spending on notebooks, plus the cost of pens. I'm only buying 1 pack and it's $4.29, equals the total money I spent, which is $10.52. So now I can solve. Okay. I'm going to undo what is least attached to the variable first, which is this plus 429. So to undo that, I'm going to subtract 429. What I do on this side with the variable, I have to do on the other side as well. Okay. So you're left with 0.89 times n equals 623. Okay. So now I have 0.89 times n equals 6.23. To undo multiplication, we're going to divide by this entire number in front. What I divide by on the left, I have to divide by on the right. 0.89 divided by 0.89 is 1n equals, we have 6.23 divided by 0.89 is 7. Then to find my label, I'm going to go back up here, and I was like, oh, N is the number of notebooks. So you bought 7 notebooks. Okay. Right here. An Uber costs 88 cents per mile and has a one-time booking fee of $3.10. How many miles did you travel if the total is $22.46? So here it's 88 cents per mile and a one-time fee of $3.10. How many miles did you travel if the total is $22.46? Okay, so we have our cost for distance plus our booking fee equals our total cost. Okay, so the cost of our distance is 88 cents. Oh, I forgot. What are we looking for? We are looking for how many miles we traveled. So I'm going to put that up at the top before I forget. Okay, so to find the cost of our distance, we're going to take the cost per mile times the number of miles, M. It's going to give us the total for our distance, plus our booking fee of $3.10. Sorry, I had to hiccup. Equals our total is $22.46. So now I'm going to solve for M. Draw a line through the equal sign to keep it organized. Get rid of whatever is least attached to the variable. In this case, this is plus 3.10. So I'm going to do the opposite and subtract 3.10. What I subtract on this side, I have to subtract on this side. Okay. So those go away. We're left with 0.88 m equals 19.36. So now I have 0.88 times m. I want to get to a positive 1m. So to undo multiplication, I'm going to divide by 0.88. What I divide by on the right or on the left with the variable, I have to divide by on the right as well. Okay. 0.88 divided by 0.88 gives me 1m equals, we're going to do 19.36 divided by 0.88 is 22, and that was miles. Okay. Number 10. Jane has 80 feet of fence to put around a garden. She wants the length of the garden to be 3 times the width. What are the dimensions of her garden? Okay, we have a rectangular garden. So here's the length, and here's the width, but she wants the width to be 3 times the length. So this is going to be 3 times L. I use a cursive L so it doesn't get confusing. Okay? So she has 80 feet of fence for the perimeter. So this length is L, and the width is equal to 3L. So the perimeter is going to be L plus 3L plus L plus 3L. Okay? So this is a 1L plus 3L plus 1L plus 3L. So 1 plus 3 is 4L. Okay. So total, we need to figure out what L is to figure out the length and the width. Okay. So our perimeter was 80 feet. So our perimeter is 8L, but it's also equal to 80 feet. So to solve for L, I have 8 times L. So to undo that, I'm going to divide by 8. Get that L equals 10 feet. Okay. So that means that the length is 10 feet, but our width is 3L. So we're going to have 3 times 10, which is 30. So Jane's garden is 10 feet by 30 feet. So that one was like crazy cuckoo, but good to throw in some perimeter stuff. So good job, guys.